If this video brought you value, please leave a comment with the word 1. If it did not, feel free to signal with 0. Your honest feedback carries immense weight for my channel. Do not forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs this knowledge, and subscribe to my channel for more empowering content. Thank you for watching, and here is to living life fully on your own terms. What if the pills you swallow each morning with such certainty, the ones you believe are adding years to your story, are actually stealing them away, quietly damaging your heart and erasing your memories? It sounds like something from a medical thriller, doesn't it? For decades, Americans over 60 have heard the same message: a daily multivitamin equals strength and self-reliance. But startling evidence from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society paints a far darker picture. More than half of older adults are consuming the wrong supplements and paying a steep price with their well-being. The reality is, vitamins are not all made with the same intention. Some ignite silent inflammation, weaken your blood's ability to clot safely, or burden your liver, while others genuinely repair your cells, brighten your cognition, and infuse you with the energy of someone a decade younger. The gap between those two outcomes could define whether you feel 60 or feel 80. So right now, we are slicing through decades of marketing fiction. I will walk you through the 4 most dangerous vitamins to avoid entirely after 60, and the 4 essential ones your body desperately requires daily to remain sharp, resilient, and truly vibrant. Because when we talk about growing older, reality is not printed on a glossy label. It is found in the research, and what you are about to discover might completely redefine your sunrise ritual. If you haven't yet joined this community, tap the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a health insight crafted specifically for you. If this video resonates, drop the word 1 in the comments. If it misses the mark, type 0 to guide me toward making better material for you. Part 1. The 4 most harmful vitamins for older adults. 1. Excessive vitamin E supplementation. On the surface, vitamin E appears gentle, even protective. For generations, physicians and advertisements celebrated it as the ultimate guardian of cardiovascular wellness. Many people over 60 still take it faithfully, convinced it shields their arteries and preserves youthful skin. Yet, lurking beneath that promise is a warning that rarely reaches older ears. Too much vitamin E can silently sabotage the very heart it claims to defend. Clinical investigations at Johns Hopkins University and the National Institute on Aging uncovered a disturbing pattern. Seniors consuming more than 400 international units of synthetic vitamin E daily faced a 20% elevated risk of heart failure and bleeding in the brain. Simply put, the substance intended to safeguard your heart can render it weaker, thinner, and far more vulnerable. The explanation is rooted in basic chemistry. Most store-bought vitamin E capsules are synthetic DL-alpha tocopherol, an industrial copy your body struggles to recognize. It accumulates in tissue, throwing off the delicate antioxidant equilibrium and transforming from a protector into a catalyst for oxidative stress, essentially the quiet rusting of your cellular machinery. Dr. Linda Harrison, a Cleveland cardiologist with 3 decades of practice, remembers a gentleman named George, age 72. He ingested high-dose vitamin E religiously for cardiac protection. After a slight stumble triggered severe internal hemorrhage, physicians discovered his blood had become dangerously thin. He genuinely believed he was making a wise choice, Dr. Harrison reflected somberly, but the supplement he trusted was actively betraying him. The wisest source of vitamin E does not come from a pill. It sits in your pantry. A small handful of almonds, a drizzle of olive oil, or a scattering of sunflower seeds delivers the natural mixed tocopherols your body recognizes and uses safely. Ultimately, it is not merely about adding nutrients. It is about recognizing which ones can silently compress your timeline instead of stretching it. And if vitamin E caught you off guard, brace yourself for the next offender, a supplement countless older adults take at breakfast that may be quietly aging the brain itself. If you are still with me and finding this valuable, please signal with a number 1 below to let me know you are here. Now, let's advance to point 2. 2. Iron pills, unless medically prescribed. Iron. The word itself conjures feelings of strength, vitality, lifeblood. For years, many aging Americans have held the belief that an iron tablet each morning is essential for keeping blood healthy and stamina high. But here is the uncomfortable reality no one voices. Past age 60, surplus iron can stealthily poison you from deep within. Unlike our younger years, the body no longer sheds iron efficiently. After menopause or entering retirement, the biological demand for iron plummets. Yet, the routine of supplementing iron for energy persists. The outcome is a condition of iron accumulation, what clinicians sometimes call mild hemochromatosis, a gradual, soundless stockpiling of metal inside your organs. Once iron deposits itself in the liver, brain, and cardiac muscle, it refuses to leave easily. It undergoes oxidation, quite literally rusting your internal systems from the inside. Dr. Michael Rosen, a geriatric specialist out of Boston, recalls a patient named Evelyn, age 76. She felt perpetually drained, dizzy, and slightly muddled. Assuming anemia was the culprit, she had been self-medicating with iron for years. Yet her lab results revealed a shocking reversal. Her iron markers were nearly twice the safe threshold. That hidden surplus had been silently scarring her liver and fueling neuroinflammation. She did not need additional iron, Dr. Rosen stated quietly. She desperately needed to eliminate it. Scientific literature backs his caution. Research from the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Medical School correlates elevated iron stores in seniors with greater incidence of Alzheimer's, cardiovascular illness, and accelerated aging. Iron stokes oxidative flames, feeding the very inflammatory processes that stiffen joints and dim memory. So, unless your physician definitively diagnoses a deficiency, stay away from multis containing iron. Obtain your iron naturally from dark leafy greens, legumes, and lean animal protein, not from capsules. Because sometimes what masquerades as renewed energy is actually a body fighting a poison it cannot excrete. And if iron can silently corrode your heart and mind, wait until you learn about the next vitamin. One marketed for nerve health that can actually devastate your nerves permanently. 3. Dangerously high doses of vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is frequently marketed as the nerve sentinel, the single nutrient alleged to keep your grip firm and your cognition rapid. But for countless older Americans, that identical capsule can quietly spark a nightmare scenario, one that perfectly mimics the conditions it purports to defend against. Here is the concealed danger. When consumed in massive quantities exceeding 100 milligrams daily, vitamin B6 destroys your nerves rather than healing them. This destruction, termed peripheral neuropathy, produces tingling, numbness, searing pain, and weakness in the extremities. For many seniors, those warning signs are wrongly attributed to diabetes or poor circulation. The genuine source, their supposedly wholesome supplement, slips by unnoticed. Dr. Laura McConnell, a neurologist based in Arizona, remembers a patient named Henry, 69, who arrived describing relentless pins and needles. He chalked it up to the natural wear of aging. After conducting nerve studies, Dr. McConnell found his B6 blood levels had tripled the normal range. Henry had been consuming a nerve support complex heavily advertised on cable television. Each capsule packed 200 milligrams of B6. He believed he was safeguarding his nerves, she recounted. In truth, his nerves were degenerating, one cell at a time. What makes this particularly insidious is that neuropathy from B6 toxicity can become permanent if not caught early. The vitamin quietly stockpiles in nerve tissue, gradually blunting sensation, eroding muscle power, and upsetting equilibrium. A catastrophic combination for anyone past 60. Studies from the National Institutes of Health verify this peril, emphasizing that older bodies clear B6 at a much slower rate. The cruel irony stings. A vitamin taken to preserve independence can rob you of precisely that. If you aim to defend your nerves, reject megadose formulations. The human body requires merely about 2 milligrams each day, easily satisfied through whole food, poultry, bananas, oatmeal, and fish. Occasionally, far less truly delivers far more. And if that revelation disturbs you, the final supplement on this list deceives even more skillfully. A pill millions of seniors swallow at dawn, believing it sustains life, while evidence suggests it may actually curtail it. If you are still watching and extracting value from these insights, please type the number 1 below to show me you are present. Let's continue with point 4. 4. Synthetic multi-formulas loaded with binders and toxic megadoses. Every single morning, countless seniors across the nation reach for a glossy bottle labeled Complete Multi for adults 50+. It is a reassuring morning habit, a solitary tablet promising to fill every nutritional void to defend the heart, the mind, and the skeleton. But what if that tiny tablet, swallowed with such devotion, inflicts more injury than benefit? Most commercial multis available today are not nourishment. They are chemical conglomerates. Underneath the colorful branding and photographs of smiling silver-haired models sit synthetic compounds, artificial dyes, titanium dioxide, and inferior, unabsorbable vitamin forms. These products are engineered for profit margins, not human vitality, and when you swallow them daily, those counterfeit nutrients bioaccumulate, silently straining your liver, kidneys, and cardiovascular system. Dr. Karen Blake, an integrative medicine physician in Florida, shares the story of Robert, a 74-year-old retired engineer. He had taken a popular senior silver formula every sunrise for nearly 10 years when he began feeling faint and lightheaded. Blood work exposed spiked liver enzymes and a perilously high vitamin A concentration. He wasn't overindulging in processed food, Dr. Blake explained. He was overdosing on his daily multi. The synthetic retinol and niacin had gradually concentrated inside him, transforming a wholesome ritual into a toxic load. That is the terrifying truth. Your physiology often does not recognize how to process synthetic isolates. Unlike nutrients bundled within nature's matrix, these lab-made chemicals frequently sidestep your body's regulatory systems, generating oxidative damage. The very cellular decay linked to premature aging, malignancy, and cardiac stress. Add the hidden fillers like hydrogenated fats and coal tar dyes, and you possess a recipe for chronic exhaustion, dull headaches, and systemic inflammation, all while believing you are investing in your wellness. If you take a multi, verify it is whole food derived, independently tested, and devoid of synthetic adulterants. Your body merits nourishment, not laboratory waste. Because the hard truth is, proper vitamins can revolutionize your health, but only if they originate from proper sources. Now that we have exposed the hidden threats, it is time to turn the chapter and reveal the 4 foundational vitamins every senior must incorporate daily to live stronger, sharper, and longer. Part 2. The 4 best vitamins for seniors to consume daily. 1. Vitamin D3 paired with K. 2. As the decades accumulate, the sun, our original wellspring of vitality, ceases to work on our behalf the way it once did. Our dermis no longer transforms sunlight into vitamin D with any efficiency, even when we linger outdoors. That is precisely why nearly 70% of adults over 60 in America exist in a state of vitamin D insufficiency, and the fallout is severe. Brittle skeletal frames, wasting musculature, defenseless immunity, and even cognitive decline. Yet what most older individuals fail to grasp is that vitamin D taken in isolation is incomplete and potentially risky without its biological partner, vitamin K2. Dr. Samuel Reed, an endocrinologist with over 3 decades of clinical practice, articulates it perfectly. Vitamin D signals your gut to pull calcium into the bloodstream, but absent K2, that calcium navigates blindly. It can rigidify your arterial walls instead of reinforcing your bone matrix. Consider the tragedy of believing you are defending your skeleton while the calcium you absorb is stealthily transforming your vessels into inflexible pipes. That is the heartbreaking paradox he has witnessed repeatedly in his clinic. Take Eleanor, a 78-year-old retired teacher from Illinois. She consumed 2,000 international units of vitamin D faithfully for years, certain she was acting prudently. Yet a coronary scan revealed early-stage vascular calcification. Her body had been misplacing calcium into her arteries. When Dr. Reed refined her protocol to include vitamin K2 as menaquinone 7, 100 micrograms daily, her subsequent scans demonstrated stability, and her bone density scans finally improved. It was akin to giving her calcium a precise navigation system, he remarked. Vitamin D3 and K2 operate as a synchronized pair. One facilitates absorption, the other directs traffic. United, they defend your bones, your cardiac function, and even your cognitive integrity. Studies from the Journal of Nutrition and Aging verify that seniors maintaining higher D3 and K2 levels not only possess denser bones, but also demonstrate superior cognitive performance and fewer injurious tumbles. So, if your current regimen contains only vitamin D, you are completing merely half the assignment. Pair it with K2 and elevate a basic supplement into a holistic shield for your entire organism. Because when the goal is protecting mental sharpness and vitality after 60, another vitamin holds a deep secret, one that dispels exhaustion, restores recall, and reclaims the mental crispness you feared was lost forever. 2. Vitamin B12 in the methylcobalamin form. A silent crisis is unfolding among older Americans, one that rarely generates dramatic headlines, but robs health, stamina, and lucidity, fragment by fragment. It is vitamin B12 inadequacy, and it impacts roughly 4 out of 10 seniors across the United States. The most unsettling aspect? Most have absolutely no clue it is happening. They simply notice a creeping slowness, deepening fatigue, and maddening forgetfulness, and they assume age is the inevitable culprit. But the reality is far more optimistic and far more pressing. Vitamin B12 acts as the electrical ignition for your brain and neural network. It assists in producing red blood cells, shuttling oxygen, and constructing the insulating myelin sheath around your nerve fibers. Without adequate B12, your mind turns hazy, your stability wobbles, and your emotional state sinks. However, as we advance in years, our stomachs manufacture less hydrochloric acid, the precise acid required to cleave B12 from dietary protein. This means even a pristine diet can leave your brain starved of this critical compound. Dr. Angela Morris, a Denver neurologist, recalls Frank, a 74-year-old retired firefighter who came to her clinic convinced he was spiraling into dementia. He misplaced names, missed scheduled events, even became disoriented navigating familiar roads. Diagnostic testing showed his B12 serum levels were critically depleted. After 6 weeks of methylcobalamin, the bioactive absorption-ready form of B12, his clarity surged back. He was never suffering from dementia, Dr. Morris declared. He was suffering from a nutritional void. Scientific literature echoes her clinical observation. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition indicates that restoring B12 can sharpen focus, stabilize mood, and even decelerate brain volume loss in older adults. The distinction lies in the methylcobalamin form, not the cheap cyanocobalamin prevalent in bargain brand formulations. This active variant bypasses gastric hurdles and feeds your cells directly. If you have sensed increasing forgetfulness, weariness, or irritability lately, do not simply attribute it to the calendar. Sometimes your body is quietly signaling for support, and B12 may well be the response. Yet there remains another nutrient even more overlooked, one that quiets a racing heart, loosens rigid muscles, and restores the deep, restorative sleep you enjoyed 2 decades ago. And nearly every senior in the nation is deficient in it. 3. Magnesium in the glycinate or malate form. There is a singular reason so many older adults arise feeling exhausted, stiff, or restless through the night, and it frequently has zero connection to the aging process itself. The plain truth is, most elders in America are operating on a severe magnesium deficit, one of the body's most mission-critical minerals. This silent shortfall does not announce itself loudly, but its fingerprints are smeared everywhere. Charlie horses that strike without warning, heart flutters that jolt you upright in bed, spiraling anxious thoughts that refuse to hush, and long, frustrating nights thrashing in the sheets despite utter exhaustion. Magnesium functions as the chief calming conductor of the physiological orchestra. It modulates over 300 essential biochemical reactions, from cardiac rhythm and neurotransmitter signaling to glucose metabolism and sleep architecture. Yet investigations by the National Institutes of Health reveal that close to 70% of individuals past 60 fail to meet their magnesium needs. The reasons stack up. Aging kidneys waste more magnesium. Pharmaceuticals like water pills and acid suppressors strip it further, and processed modern diets stripped of trace minerals fail to replenish the losses. Dr. Robert Clean, a cardiologist practicing in California, once cared for Doris, a 79-year-old grandmother who presented with erratic heart rhythms and crushing lethargy. Her former doctor had prescribed a new antiarrhythmic, but the genuine problem was far more foundational. Her magnesium reservoirs were critically empty. After 1 month supplementing with magnesium glycinate, her cardiac cadence normalized, her knotted muscles released, and for the first time in many years, she reported sleeping with the peace of a child. Her heart was never truly broken, Dr. Cleany reflected. Her equilibrium was shattered. Her body's inherent tempo had simply fallen out of tune. The variant of magnesium you select is paramount. The inexpensive form, magnesium oxide, is poorly absorbed and often triggers gastrointestinal distress. But magnesium glycinate, or malate, absorbs deeply into the tissues, soothing the nervous system without harsh repercussions. It is the mineral of tranquility, the nutrient of nightly renewal. When your magnesium reserves are fully replenished, your pulse steadies, your ruminating mind settles, and your slumber deepens. It feels as if your entire body finally exhales after years of holding its breath. And while magnesium restores calm to your nocturnal hours, the following nutrient accomplishes something even more profound. It can shield your heart, polish your memory, and measurably extend your lifespan from the inside outward. 4. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil, or algal DHA and EPA. Among every nutrient scrutinized by science across the last half-century, none has demonstrated greater significance for aging with elegance than omega-3 fatty acids. They are, in the most literal sense, sustenance for your brain, combustion for your heart, and a soothing balm for your joints. Yet sadly, the vast majority of American seniors are running on a severe deficit, and their bodies are absorbing the consequences. Omega-3s, predominantly sourced from marine oils or microalgae supplements, contain two formidable constituents, EPA and DHA. In synergy, they quell systemic inflammation, maintain the elasticity of your arterial walls, and form the structural scaffolding of your brain cells. But as we age, our endogenous production of these precious lipids dwindles. The outcome is visible in the looking glass and palpable in the body: rigid, aching joints, sluggish cognition, mood instability, and a heart that no longer beats with the unwavering confidence of its younger self. Dr. Emily Carter, a cardiovascular specialist in Seattle, recounts the journey of John, a 73-year-old Vietnam veteran who came to her consumed by unrelenting fatigue and memory lapses. He had resigned himself to the belief that this was simply the landscape of old age. Blood analysis exposed that his omega-3 index had plummeted to a precarious low, far beneath the range associated with cardiac and neuroprotective benefits. After 3 months of consistent supplementation with high-purity fish oil, a combined 1,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA daily, John's transformation was striking. His drive returned, his mental focus crystallized, and even his spouse observed he was genuinely laughing again. It was as if a dimmer switch had been slowly turned up, Dr. Carter described. Science solidly corroborates this. A landmark Harvard investigation found that seniors possessing the highest omega-3 blood levels displayed up to a 27% diminished risk of dying from cardiac events and significantly sharper cognitive performance metrics. Omega-3s serve as nature's anti-inflammatory buffer, neutralizing the invisible damage wrought by decades of chronic stress, industrial diets, and environmental pollutants. The crucial detail, however, lies in purity. Always choose wild-caught fish oil or lab-verified algal DHA and EPA tested for heavy metals and rancidity. Because when your heart pumps with renewed vigor and your thoughts feel crisp and unclouded, existence itself feels tangibly lighter. Omega-3 is not merely a supplement. It stands as a profound reminder that the passing of years does not have to dim your internal light. It can, in fact, assist it in shining with even greater intensity. And now that you have unearthed the precise nutrients that protect your heart, your mind, and your longevity, it is time to witness how weaving them together in proper harmony can transform not only your physical health, but the fundamental way you experience each and every sunrise. Final reflection: the profound power of choosing wisely. At this stage of the journey, every single decision carries heightened weight. What you consume, how you move your body, and what you offer your cells each morning. Vitamins are no longer trivial additions to fill dietary cracks. They are the literal building blocks that determine how you think, how you move, and how you feel throughout each precious day. The incorrect ones can covertly siphon your resilience, but the correct ones can summon you back into a vibrant state. A crisper intellect, more stable footsteps, and a heart that pulses with genuine purpose once more. For those in their golden years, health is not about chasing the ghost of youth. It revolves around preserving dignity, safeguarding autonomy, and maintaining the deep joy of being fully present for those you cherish. Vitamins such as D3 with K2, B12 as methylcobalamin, bioavailable magnesium, and purified omega-3s are not magical cure-alls. They are nature's precision instruments, crafted to assist your body in aging with strength and grace. Rigorous science confirms it, but more critically, real human lives mirror it. So tonight, when you stand before your medicine cabinet, ask yourself a single penetrating question. Are these capsules adding years to my life, or are they truly adding life to my years? Because the passage of time does not need to equate to decline, not if you make your selections with wisdom. The most fulfilling chapters of your narrative can still lie in front of you. All it demands is the courage to start choosing correctly, beginning today. These insights are designed to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I genuinely want to hear your voice. Take a brief moment to reflect and share one lesson you have absorbed and intend to apply in your own journey. Let's foster a community of mutual encouragement on this path toward embracing these truths.